Frank Phillips came from Iowa to Indian Territory, Oklahoma, in search of a fortune. He found it with a string of 81 straight successful oil wells that pumped out his black gold. After that, the good times rolled for Phillips, his wife Jane, and their son John. He completed construction on his Bartlesville mansion in 1909. According to Jim Goss, the director of the Frank Phillips home, locals saw the Phillips family as outsiders who were stirring up Bartlesville with their ambitious business savvy. Goss says the house was a statement to the community.
We are here in Bartlesville to stay, and we want to build something that shows the public that we have a commitment to Bartlesville and that we are going to be contributors to this city.
Goss and his wife Kim are our tour guides.
Phillips entertained people from all over the world, so these rooms were used a lot.
The three-story mansion has 26 rooms, so there is a lot for visitors to see.
95% of all the furniture in the house and the knickknacks, etc., are original to the home. The granddaughter Elizabeth, who is also known as Betty, gave the home and all of the belongings of Frank and Jane to the state of Oklahoma in 1973.
The music room is where they entertained guests. A photo taken back when the Phillipses lived here shows everything in the same place as it is today, including the Weber Grand Concert and Player piano. The ornate ceiling plaster and the heavy crown molding are the umbrellas over the dark imported Philippine mahogany seen throughout the home. The original upholstery on furniture remains, as does the gold French damask on the padded walls. The chandelier is Waterford crystal, and so is the one in the adjoining dining room. Here, this table could seat 18 people. They were served on this fine china, handled by servants who were very timely on the delivery of each course. That's because under the table, Mrs. Phillips could tap on an electric button, which would summon the help.
And it's interesting because people really did not know how they timed it so well.
I imagine some famous people sat at this table.
Very famous people from all over the world, literally. Wiley Post, Will Rogers, Elliott Roosevelt were guests here at the home.
It is said the Phillipses had guests here most evenings they were home.
Liz, we're now moving into the library, and originally the library was a mirror image of the music room.
In 1930, during the middle of the Great Depression, Phillips enlarged this room as part of a $500,000 renovation project. Phillips made sure he got national publicity on the project.
And as people read about what he was doing and the cost, they were very impressed and felt like Phillips Petroleum must be doing very well, so they continued to invest in the company.
And while a showplace, this was still, after all, their home.
The library has 2,000 books in it. There are another 1,000 scattered throughout the house. Jane Phillips was a voracious reader and was able to talk to anyone about just about any subject.
In here, as you glance up to the ceiling, the artistic plasterwork Jane insisted on will catch your gaze. Comfortable, worn seating is scattered throughout, and while this room was likely a cozy winter nesting place, the sunroom was said to be Frank Phillips' favorite. Another picture from the past confirms it is just as they left it.
She had tea parties and bridge parties in this room. Very light, very airy.
The two floors above the main floor are both elegant and earthy. Up here you will see some built-ins that were way ahead of the times for the early days of Oklahoma. Yes, indeed, this home was a place for guests to get happy.